was COVID for you like?
Oh, shut it down again.
The greatest nights of your life.
Shut it down.
Yeah, I'd do another 2. I'd do 2 weeks.
I would flirt with the idea of like 4 to 6 months as long as there's no death.
4 to 6 months?
If there's no death, I'm in for 4 to 6.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday. It's May 14th. This episode is brought to you by Noble. That's Barstool's favorite footwear brand. Noble is a brand that's known for their best in-class footwear, and they're everywhere right now. Walking around city to city at the airport, grabbing coffee. Wherever I go, I see them. I'm wearing my Nobles right now.
Look at this, Eric. It took them a minute to get the 16s in here. But look at these. Shout out Noble.
The Big T 16s?
Yeah, got a black and a white.
Wow.
Yeah, they're nice. Still in the box.
How about that? That's awesome. Good for you, Big T. I'm glad they finally sent you some. Do you have to get prescription shoes ever?
Prescription?
Yeah.
No.
It's because the 16s?
Well, I normally wear a 17. The Nobles, we got them in a 16.
And when you go into a store, are you, the first thing that you say before you like
I haven't
look at a shoe?
I haven't bought shoes in a store in well over a decade.
Can't buy them off the rack.
No.
Yeah. Damn.
Online only, which is a dangerous game to play.
Because you got to try them on first and
right.
know, like, is a 16 a 16 or
right.
is it a 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shout out Noble. They fit amazing.
And I've got my Nobles on right now. They're super comfortable. These shoes are actually the most comfortable. The Journey 2s. That's what I'm wearing right now. That's by far my favorite type of Noble. And it's Noble's daily running shoe. It's brand new, the Journey 2. Check it out. You can take it outside, run, walk. The Journey 2s are made to move your way. Great dog walking shoes. I'm going to start doing yoga in a little bit. And I'm going to be wearing my Nobles because I'm going to walk to yoga. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to have my yoga mat. Big T, if you saw me walk, if you see a man walking to a yoga class with a rolled up mat, what's your initial thought?
What color's the mat?
Probably Commanders. It'll probably be a Commanders branded yoga mat.
Okay, what do you do with your hair when you're on the way?
Man bun.
See that? Yeah. That's where you actually look like the kind of guy who would be doing that.
You got to have a man bun on the way to yoga class. Yeah. But you can walk anywhere in these Nobles. And exclusively for Macrodosing listeners, Noble is offering 35% off your first order. Visit nobleproject.com. Use code MACRO. Get 35% off your entire first order. Nobleproject.com. Code MACRO. Get 35% off your entire first order. Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is Thursday. It's May 14th. And today it's going to be myself, Big T, Zach in studio with us for the first time, making his Macrodosing debut. It's Zachrodosing this week.
Pretty excited. I appreciate you guys having me today.
Yeah, of course, Zach. Of course. It's going to be a fun discussion. We got Mad Dog McKenzie behind the glass, and we got a lot to get into today. Eventually, we are going to talk about the OpenAI trial that's been going on. So it's like two of the richest people in the world, or most powerful people in the world, Elon Musk and Sam Altman, going at it in court, trying to figure out who owns OpenAI, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a for-profit, who has control of it, and exactly how much rhinoketamine Elon did at Burning Man in 2017. So we're going to get to the bottom of that. You ever done rhinoketamine, Zach?
I haven't, but the answer for him has to be like so much, right?
I think if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound when it comes to rhinoketamine.
Really? Is it now... Is the rhino significant of the scale of like physical weight of the ketamine, or it like could take out a rhino?
I think it's like it gives you the power of a rhino.
Oh, it turns you like spiritually into a rhino.
I think so because it's a mix of like meth and ketamine at the same time, so it gets you amped up.
What a day! That sounds a little bit terrifying, but like good on Elon, you know?
Yeah. If you come out the other side after a day on rhinoketamine, good for you. You come out stronger than you went in.
You sound familiar with the effects.
I've never done ketamine, never done rhinoketamine.
Certainly not. You're jumping to conclusions. I said you sound familiar.
Well, yeah, I read.
And then you immediately said, "Well, I didn't think you did."
I thought that was implied when you said I sounded familiar with it.
You know what happens when you assume, PFT?
I guess I do. Today we got a lot to get into. Right off the bat, is everybody okay? Did everybody come to work today feeling like 100%?
Yeah,
no sniffles? No sniffles?
Hanta.
No.
Is the Hanta in
Stomach
Illinois?
okay?
Yeah.
The Hanta's here.
Well, they're investigating.
Oh, I can't. I gotta go.
I saw one of the guys was on TikTok like posting his Omaha quarantine room.
Oh, I hadn't seen
So we're
that.
back
What
to the
hotel are
quarantine
they
room
at?
tours?
I don't know. It didn't say hotel. It looked
Are they in
like
like a hospital?
Yeah, it looked more like a hospital, but like it was decent. He had a lot of room. There's like a Peloton bike in there.
That's pretty
They
good.
have a fridge. Like it wasn't bad. He said he did not test positive, but he was quarantining and it was like his second day.
Yeah, I remember that's heavy like 2020 vibes right there. Being like, this is my quarantine. This is my bubble that I'm in right now.
The meals that are like bread and 1 carrot.
Yep. I've got my Peloton right here. Doing my classes. That's definitely
Did you own one prior to that?
I did, but I didn't really start using it until the shelter in place
Right.
that we had in New York City.
2 weeks to slow the spread.
Yeah,
they
that
said.
that was I was in such good shape by the end of that. I was doing after like a month, I was doing Peloton just about every day, sometimes 2 days. And I was down like 15 pounds, feeling great. And then of course you burn out on it, just like you burn out on anything that you do that much. But yeah, I the guy doing like TikToks showing off like, hey, here's what I'm doing. That's just giving me big time flashbacks to 2020. But
Zach, I know you're a video game guy.
That is true.
Was COVID for you like
Oh, shut it down again.
the greatest nights of your life?
Shut it down.
Yeah. I'd do another 2. I'd do 2 weeks.
I would flirt with the idea of like 4 to 6 months as long as there's no death.
4 to 6 months?
If there's no death, I'm in for 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Why 4 to 6?
You had to be there, man.
Just
Peak
it was
Warzone.
special, PFT. It was,
It
so
was special.
But
With
we're-
your boys.
I mean, I was there. 4 to 6 months is a long time, though.
Think of how many Peloton rides that is.
Yeah, but there was no sports on. Did you just play one game, or did you like evolve? Did it go from one to another?
It was just like, it was 2 games mainly, just Warzone and NBA 2K.
Yeah, Warzone was big then.
The Warzone during COVID was special.
Yeah,
Special stuff.
it was. What was the name of that map?
Verdansk.
Verdansk. Yeah,
Yeah.
Verdansk. I remember Hank taught me how to play. He was like, "We got to hop on the sticks," and then I showed him how to win at Warzone. Hank never won without me. He needed a coach because he gets like ADD, so he would find himself in like a very good position, and then he would just do something really stupid because he got bored. It's like, dude, we already knew that there were 3 guys back there, Hank. Why are you running at all 3 guys at the same time? Hank, to his credit, didn't like to camp, but I was like, there's a happy medium between being reckless and camping out and trying to win the game. So after probably like 2 months of Hank having 2 Warzone coaches, we finally got him a dub. But we had him on like an electric collar leash that entire last game. It's like, dude, you don't need to always charge at people. You don't need to go into that building. You're fine where you are. I think I could go for another like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of quarantine would be fine, I think. After that, I go crazy.
Maybe we do, and I guess we've missed the boat a little bit. We'll have to do it every 6 years. I was going to say maybe every 5 years. We just everyone takes 2 weeks off. It's 2 weeks
Together?
Yeah. Everything's closed.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta hang 2 weeks, a little sabbatical.
Now, is this worldwide?
Sure.
Okay. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like everyone just
What
chills
do they
out.
do in Spain? What's it called?
Siesta.
But there's more of a name for it, right?
I
Or
don't
maybe
know.
it is just it's every day.
Yeah, after lunch.
It's like 2 to 4. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's
like
after-
everything's closed.
After lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
They got built-in nap time?
Oh, yeah.
Time, yeah.
Oh, my, we're doing it wrong.
Like if you go out
What
on
are
the
we
street,
doing?
there's nobody out there.
Everywhere in Europe, really. It's like they take their lunches very seriously. You go to France, you try to go out somewhere between 2 and 5. Every place is closed down.
I could see that being huge for morale and like community building. We should adopt that.
But you know, Zach, that's how then they want everything for free. And so
Oh, it's a whole thing?
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought we were taking
it
like
builds
good lunch.
it builds a soft population.
But we're already like we're relatively soft. Why not just enjoy the simple
Yeah,
things?
yeah.
Yeah, but no, we work harder over here.
Yeah.
We work hard. They also get like 2 months off every year. They get to just go party.
Well, they also make like $25,000.
Yeah. They seem to be
Did
pretty
you see
happy.
the thing recently? They asked people in England, where do you think Great Britain would rank GDP wise as a state in the U.S. and the average response was 7th and they would be 51st.
They'd be last
Yes.
behind Alaska. I guess the oil
Behind Mississippi,
Yeah.
who is currently 50th. Yes.
behind Mississippi.
They were unpleased to learn that.
I bet. I can imagine. Big T, where do you stand on the big debate? Who's less racist, Mississippi
What a
or Louisiana? Who you got?
yeah! What a quote from that guy.
Yeah. So to set the stage, if you haven't
and this
heard about it all,
this of course happened Monday, right as we finished recording.
it
came
did.
out,
Yeah.
so.
Lane Kiffin did an interview in Vanity Fair, as SEC football coaches tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he discussed being the head football coach at Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi, and how he heard from parents and grandparents or recruits that they wouldn't let their grandchildren or children go there because of the state's history with racism. And now Lane Kiffin doesn't have to deal with that now that he's working at Louisiana State University, which has zero history of racism.
He said they tell him there's no segregation here,
Yeah.
implying that there is in Oxford, Mississippi, but not in South Louisiana.
Yeah, I think that it's probably true that if you're a grandparent and in many cases a parent in Mississippi, you think that like you don't feel that that state is a safe place for your grandkids to go. Like based on your experience growing up, you can understand that certainly.
Here's the thing about Lane. Do I believe the situation he described happened at least once? Yes. It was never raised when he was the most powerful person in Mississippi.
No.
He felt comfortable enough with the University of Mississippi for his daughter to attend school there.
Mm-hmm.
It seems an odd time to raise this concern when you could have done much more about it.
Yeah.
Even several months ago.
And sometimes when people levy that accusation, like, oh, you left and then you started talking about it, why didn't you do anything while you were there? It kind of rings hollow because a lot of times people are powerless, like depending on what that job would be for Lane. But in this case, when he was a football coach at Ole Miss, he definitely had some power. He definitely could have spoke out about a lot of
stuff. He was the highest paid government employee in the state and also the most popular person in the state.
Yeah, he definitely had some power that he could have spoke up with. But now he's at LSU and he's I loved the photoshops that I saw going around yesterday.
There were some great ones.
Lane Kiffin leading a march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge was
Yeah.
maybe my favorite one that they had.
The Mississippi Burning
Yeah,
movie poster.
yeah, that was
him and Gene Hackman.
it was great. But now we've devolved into kind of like a war between the LSU Tigers and the Ole Miss Rebs.
By the way,
accusing each other on who is more racist as a college.
right. I do look forward to the day that Lane finds out why LSU is called the Tigers.
See, that's the thing. It's like, okay, one is called the Rebels and the other is called the Tigers, named after a battalion in the Civil War
Yes.
that actually tracked down and killed former slaves, correct?
I can't attest to that, but it was a regiment of the Confederate Army. Yes.
Yeah. So, but thank God Lane got out of that racist hellhole that is Mississippi.
Yes.
And now he's in Louisiana, where they grow up and live and breathe and work every day together as brothers. And
Yeah.
nothing bad's ever happened. I do love Louisiana. Like if the question for me is which state would I personally rather live in, it's hands down I would rather be in Louisiana. I love Louisiana. Now I've never really been to Mississippi outside one weekend in Oxford, but I love Louisiana. But I also love that Lane Kiffin chose to do this in an interview with Vanity Fair, and then apologized for it immediately, being like, I didn't know it would come across like that.
Yeah, in the same article, he said, I hope all the things I've said don't come across derogatory because I love that place. And let me tell you something. If you thought the golf ball and mustard bottle were bad, he's in physical danger when they go there on September 19th. Now, I do think there's an element of Tennessee fans are crazy, and there's 100,000 people in Neyland Stadium as opposed to like 60 at Vaught Hemingway. But, I mean, he's doing everything he can to provoke those people.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by those people?
Ole Miss fans.
Okay.
And he's going to be – they better have him secure.
Yeah, they're going to need like the Pope Mobile for Lane Kiffin. They're going to need – you know how in soccer they've got the technical area on the sideline?
Yeah.
With the plastic things that go over their heads? They should probably get one of those for Lane.
I don't like or particularly dislike. I dislike LSU a little bit. I don't care about either of those schools really. I will be rooting hard for Ole Miss in that game.
Yeah, I mean, Lane, every place that he leaves, with the exception of FAU, I feel like he left FAU on relatively good terms, right?
Yeah, because they knew at some point, you know.
Yeah, Lane was going to make his way back,
Right.
But most places that Lane leaves, there's like a trail of, I don't want to say destruction, but there's kind of chaos that
Largely of his own doing, also.
right with USC. I don't know. Do we know what happened with USC?
In terms of what?
Well, I know that he was fired on the tarmac.
Right.
I know that, but I don't know that.
So that's the only one he hasn't left voluntarily.
Yeah.
At Tennessee, he had the press conference at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And scurried out the back door. Obviously, everything at Ole Miss last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he doesn't make it easier on himself. And then he goes into Vanity Fair and says everyone there's racist.
He didn't say everyone there's racist.
I understand.
What he said, because what happens with all these, we end up like having an argument about something about the argument about something about the argument. With this, he said that recruits would tell him, "Hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi."
He said the school did not distance itself from old Southern imagery.
You know, wasn't Faulkner, was he from Oxford?
I don't know if he's from Oxford. He's from Mississippi.
From Mississippi. You know how you could tell like Faulkner would get more drunk over the course of a chapter as he was writing? So by the end of the chapter, you're like, what is this guy even talking about? Because he's had his whiskey. Lane Kiffin, he's doing yoga now. He gets more woke over the course of every interview. So at the end of every interview, he's talking about latent racism in Mississippi and how we can solve it. He gets more progressive as the interview goes on.
Yeah. Fat Lane would have never said that.
No, Fat Lane would not have. Fat Lane would have been like, it's about tradition. Period.
Skinny Lane probably would have said that 6 months ago, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah. If the checks are clearing, for sure.
Faulkner's from New Albany, Mississippi.
Okay. Where about is that?
I'm looking.
Do you have a favorite author, Zach?
Favorite author?
Mm-hmm. It's okay if you
I don't think I've read enough books to have a favorite author. I dabble in books sometimes, but as far as like a standalone favorite, like go-to writer, I don't think I'd have one.
What books did you like in school?
I used to collect the Goosebumps books because those had holographic covers.
Yeah.
In full transparency, I didn't read them. I did collect all the covers except for like 3.
And they felt cool, right?
Yeah, they had like some of them had texture and they were almost exclusively holographic.
Mm-hmm.
So those were like fun to like look at.
Did you read Mike Lupica?
What was that?
Mike Lupica? Oh, he's the
is that the guy? No, probably not.
Oh, Zach, you got to go read the Lupicas.
What is it? We're talking science fiction, fantasy.
No, they're all children's sports novels. They're about like a kid who gets to throw the halftime like $50,000 throw at the Patriots game, and like I think there's one called Summer Ball. It's about like an AAU basketball team. They're very, very good books.
I've lived a Lupica life up till now, but I'm down to check them out.
Okay, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, you should read those. What other ones?
What about like mandatory reading in school? Did you like any of those books?
I didn't do much of the mandatory reading in school.
Yeah.
I read the Lemmy Snicket series.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
They have the textured edges on the book. You know how they do the
You're big
crimped
into
pages?
the texture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm referring to though?
Yes.
The books have the crimped edges.
I do know what
that entire series does.
You're really big into texture.
I think that's part of a reading experience for sure.
Okay.
You like to feel the book.
So
Yeah.
you'd never read a Kindle. Not that woke bullshit.
No, we got
Yeah.
better Kindles already.
You like
We
ink
just got-
under your fingernails.
Yeah, if we're gonna read a book, it needs to be fully immersive. I need to feel like I'm doing something studious.
Yeah. What about Animorphs? Did you read those?
No.
Do you know the ones I'm talking
Well,
about?
that seems up your alley.
They were like the rival in a way to Goosebumps. Those were the ones that on the cover it had like a human turning into an animal.
I've seen those. I think one of my friends had those. Like it's like a man goat or
Yeah.
like a second cousin horse, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've seen those. Yeah,
Yeah, those might be the next iteration of books that you would want to collect.
probably should get into reading though. They say it's good for your vocabulary. It extends your that way you're not so
For
limited.
sure.
You have like you can speak better.
Be
That's what
more
I've seen.
verbose.
See, I'll get to verbose through reading, but I'm not there
exactly.
yet.
Yeah. Do you? So what do you think about audiobooks? Are those less studious?
I tried the audiobook because I was like, this is probably great. You have a little bit of a road trip through the audiobook. I have a hard time retaining the audiobook in full transparency.
You go through like 2 minutes and you're like, I didn't hear anything.
What did we listen to?
Yeah. Sometimes I do that with just regular books too. I'll get to the end of the page and I'll realize I did not pay attention at all to like the entire thing I just read.
Yeah,
What a waste of time that would be.
reading comprehension is a slippery slope.
Did you go to the book fair as a kid?
I did go to the book fair.
Love the book
Love
fair.
the book fair.
I'd do any. Give me 2 more weeks of COVID, but with no COVID and a book fair, and I'll be good to go.
Were you more of like a scented eraser guy or a poster guy?
Poster. I still remember the Jeff Francoeur poster I got at the Scholastic Book Fair. I'm sure I got some other sports ones, but yeah, big into the posters. Not as much into the knickknacks. I would do books too. I'd get some good books, but big poster. Were you like an eraser guy? The wacky pencils?
I enjoyed the different variations of mechanical pencils. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Oh, you know what? I did like the pens with the multicolor ink.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
that you could that had all the colors on the top.
You're inevitably going to get in trouble for clicking that way too much, though. You know, 'cause it's easy to play with in the hands.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted.
And then you would break them because you click them too much.
Definitely.
And like you try to put 2 of them down at the same time.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing gets screwed up.
Is the Scholastic Book Fair still going?
I don't know, but whoever the CEO of Scholastic Books is needs a goddamn raise. This guy, have I gone on my Scholastic Book Fair rant on this show before?
I mean, we've been going so long now, there's no telling.
I mean, I don't even know that I have like a Scholastic. You would know if I had done my Scholastic.
Yeah,
Book
neither
Fair
of us
rant.
recall, so go for it.
Whoever it is that was in charge of Scholastic Books, when they figured out a way to deputize every child in America as a book salesman for their company, is a goddamn genius. They're like, once a year in every school, we're going to turn every student, kindergarten through 6th grade, into a book salesman under the Scholastic umbrella that's not getting paid. They created a pyramid scheme where nobody else gets paid. It's actually like a genius opportunity. It's like, oh, wait, you don't want to have the book fair in your school? Guess you guys hate reading. Guess you don't want your kids to learn how to read.
He figured out like sophisticated child labor.
Yeah, that dude he's a genius. And I need to know like when that started, how it started, because the book fair was an event. And I remember, I don't think I spent too much money on actual books. It was mostly like, they would have like some sports magazines that I would get. I'm trying to remember what else they would have. Like, the erasers were really big. But yeah, how much money in revenue does Scholastic Books do per book or for their entire book fair catalog? I wonder.
I don't know, but I'm signing up to be notified of the next time there's a book fair in our zip code.
Are they open to the public?
Well, I don't think so, but I mean, what would happen if
you just went to an elementary school uninvited? That's a good question.
If you just showed up at the office and were like, "Hey, heard the book fair's today."
I mean, doing a book fair at Barstool Sports would be kind of fun.
Can we get them in here?
Yeah.
Please? Can we call the big hoss?
Yeah.
That'd be a good video.
That would be awesome.
That would be sick.
Now, do you bring in Scholastic or do you figure out how to make a rival?
No. We
peddling
need the
empire?
professionals
Gotcha.
to do
Okay.
this.
Fair enough.
The company says it runs more than 97,000 book fairs per year,
Holy mackerel.
reaching over 30 million children.
90,000? Yeah.
In just one recent quarter, book fair revenue was $110 million. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yes, they are geniuses. I think what they do is they probably, it sounds like they give some of the money back to the schools that they bring in through the book fair. But I mean, they're raking it in. They wouldn't do that for free.
I don't know about you guys, but when the book fair came to my elementary schools, it was like almost like a traveling circus. They came in cases and they would open them up and they could just shut down and keep it moving.
They got
It's like a concert.
yeah.
That they carry all their stuff in.
They got carnies, but for books,
Definitely.
like carnival workers. That's probably what the carnival workers do in the off season.
Oh, do you think you travel with Scholastic, or do you think they just bring in like a local guy or a local woman?
I think
whenever
Scholastic has their own operation.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
they send their people town to town, like put them up in some hotels.
It's like, I'm in Iowa this weekend. We
And
got
those-
6 Scholastics.
And those people definitely are fucking too. Like if you go on the road for the book fair, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I guess if you could go back to Scholastic Book Fair as an adult and you just realize that the guy checking you out is violently hungover
Yeah.
and like hitting on the woman next to him, it's like you guys have tarnished the book fair.
Yeah. I said, wait, I remember you from the state fair 3 months ago. You were the guy that was running the Gravitron. now you're manning the colored marker station.
My great-grandmother, who's my favorite person of all time, I would always be sure to mention, like, when we were over at her house, like, Bobby, you know, the book fair's coming up pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about it. And then she'd slip me a little $20 on the way out.
Did you not have it where, like, the Scholastic Book Fair at my school is like a week-long event, and one of the days was like parent lunch where you could have an adult come in and eat lunch with you, and then they take you to the book fair. Then it's unlimited funds.
No, that's
That would have been worse for me.
Why?
If my parents were there, I wouldn't have been able to get away with what
Or
I got
it must have
away
been
with.
it must have been all week. It must have been like every day, like whoever could come in, because I would have my one set of grandparents come one day, my other set of grandparents come another day. Maybe if my mom could get off of work at lunch, she would come. I was like hitting it up. Their debit cards were not stopping.
That's so smart.
It was awesome. And then they would bring you like McDonald's for lunch.
What?
Then they would bring you outside lunch. We didn't have hot lunch at my grade school, so then it would be like Grandma and Grandpa are coming to lunch with whatever it was called. Lunch. They get to bring me outside lunch, and I go to the Scholastic Book Fair.
Did you go to school in a prison? Like you didn't have hot lunch?
You didn't have
No.
chicken nugget day, pizza day?
We had I mean, my school was terribly, terribly poor. It closed. I was the last graduating
Doesn't sound
class.
like it. You've got kids eating McDonald's.
Well, because the parents were bringing it. The school doesn't provide the McDonald's.
I understand, but
But we didn't have any hot lunch. And so every Wednesday, my school is very small. So every Wednesday, they would cater a different thing. So it would be like Burger King Day.
you just said they didn't do that.
No. But we didn't have like a hot lunch. Like I couldn't go to
Oh,
school
it's just
every
every
day.
Wednesday was Burger King day.
It was Burger King, hot dog, hot dog day. Oh, God. Pizza day. And it was like a rotation. But I didn't have like the ability on like a Tuesday or a Thursday to be like, I didn't pack a lunch this morning. I'm going to go get chicken nuggets and fries. Then you're shit out of luck.
See, at my elementary school, there was an expectation if an adult came to eat lunch with you that they would buy ice cream for the whole class.
For the entire
Wow.
class?
Well, because it was 50 cents, so it'd be, $10.
Okay.
So if an adult came and didn't buy everyone ice cream, they were reviled.
Yeah. I can imagine.
And so the kids would make it known, like, hey, it's kind of, you kind of got to
If you
buy
come,
ice cream for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you don't want to be the kid that's parent or adult isn't buying ice cream
Right.
for everyone.
so
My uncle told me it's $1 now at his kid's school.
for ice cream?
Yeah.
For like
So it's been 100% inflation in 20 years.
an Eclair bar?
It was like those little, the little cups of ice cream with the wooden spoon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had Eclair, Nutty Buddies, cookies and cream in the little cups, and sometimes occasionally we would have popsicles as well. Strawberry eclairs too.
Then at my middle school, we had a slushy machine.
What?
Yeah.
A slushy machine?
Mhm.
One flavor, two flavors?
It was 2 or 3, I think.
How did you
That
give
rules.
like a 12-year-old a slushie and then ask them to continue on with their day?
I bet Michelle Obama got rid of that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
was
She put a stop to that.
long gone by the time. Well, she may have just come into office. But yeah, I'm sure it's gone now.
Damn.
We did chocolate milk, strawberry milk, and regular milk. I thought that was like a hit, but slushy machines all time.
Yeah.
The slush puppy.
You had strawberry milk too?
Yeah, we had like a trio.
Now, did the lunch ladies ever say like you have to occasionally not get chocolate milk or strawberry milk? Like you have to get regular milk sometimes?
They would, depending on when you went to lunch, they would kind of run out. Like, so then there'd be like 6 crates of the regular milk, maybe 1 crate of the chocolate left. You kind of pick your pocket and try to get in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
PFT, I have some startling news. Not only did Michelle shut down the slushy, she closed the whole school.
The entire school's closed down?
Chapman Intermediate School was shut down in 2014.
She was like, this is a big problem.
Yeah. They put a stop to that real quick.
We have to close down the entire district.
Yeah, she put
There's
a
too
stop
much
to
sugar.
that. Yeah, it was that school was just 5th and 6th grade, so I assume they absorbed those into like the elementary and middle schools.
Yeah. Zach, did you ever have bag milk?
We didn't do bag milk. We did bag juice.
Bag juice.
Yeah.
Okay. So like apple juice?
Apple and orange juice. Then you could just bite the corner, kind of suck on it.
Oh, okay. So it was like you bite the corner off and then that becomes like a handheld pouch
Yes.
of juice. Okay. And
Are you doing the full bag milk? You mean like when they drop it in the pitcher?
no, the bags of milk that we had, and we only had them for like a year. I want to say it's maybe like 5 inches by 5-inch squares of milk, and it was in a plastic pouch, and you would put it down on the table, and then you would take the straw and you would poke a hole just into the middle of the bag, and then you would just drink out of that bag, as opposed to drinking out of like a cardboard carton of milk. And then they got rid of those after about, I'd say 6 months, maybe less, because all we were doing was just like blowing them up and popping them, and it was just it was a mess because they would pop if you put like a bag of milk underneath anything that's heavy. If you stack something on top of it, they all just explode and get everywhere.
Yeah, that we had the same thing for juice, and kids would put them like under the toilet seats, and then you'd sit down, and then you get juiced.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, terrible idea, unless you get juiced.
And if you get juiced, then it's
And
a
it's
bad
sticky.
idea.
It's no good.
It gets everywhere. All right. Hey, that's good. That's good elementary school talk.
You know what you can do? One more thing that I did this when we lived in New York once. There's a website you can order like from the wholesale distributors that the schools get all their lunch stuff from. So you can order like the square pizzas or the Bosco sticks. Did y'all have Bosco sticks?
We did not have Bosco sticks.
Bosco stick. Have you had Bosco sticks?
I had them for a year.
So the Bosco, Michelle shut those down real quick. It's it's just a breadstick with cheese in it, heated up.
Ooh.
It's amazing. And so I bought those. I bought some other stuff, and you can just buy from the distributors that the schools get them from.
That sounds pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta have good like freezer square footage for that though.
Well,
like,
you know
you had
what?
a reach in. You had like a
No, I had my apartment in New York was 60% kitchen. I had a big kitchen.
oh, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I didn't want that. I
Fair.
would rather have had not to climb over my bed to get to the bathroom. But so yeah, I had a solid size freezer. You know where we have a lot of freezer space?
Here.
Right here.
Could we get like a lunch lady?
I want the school lunches, and I want a Scholastic Book Fair in here this summer.
If we had school lunches every day with like a lunch, maybe a couple lunch ladies.
There would have to be one that's kind of mean and one that's nice.
Yep. And then you need somebody that was like in charge of the lunchroom. So in case things got out of hand.
A monitor of sorts.
Yeah, a lunch monitor to like blow their whistle at us or turn the lights off if things got bad. To turn this whole place into an elementary school. Not a bad idea.
Then we'd have to go on quiet lunch. You never want that.
You don't want that, no.
You got to talk to your guy about the book fair.
I'll talk to him about the book fair.
I can nix the lunches. We got to have the book fair.
Okay, we'll see if we can get a book fair in. Do they do adult book fairs?
Well, that has a different connotation.
Well, not like adult magazines, but I mean magazines for adults and things for adults.
I don't know. I've never heard of such.
Okay, we'll have to look into this.
I want posters and erasers though.
Yeah, posters like sports memorabilia. A lot of that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. This, if we could get some bobbleheads, maybe
Yep.
some 2002 like team media guides, things like that.
Okay. Fun pens.
They do adult book fairs in the form of like Pampered Chef or like Mary Kay. Those feel like adult book fairs, you know?
Yeah.
You show up to your homegirl's house. She's like, hey, we have this spread here. Everybody check it out.
Cutco
Yep.
knives,
Mm-hmm. Oh, get some knives. Yeah.
Tupperware.
Those kind of feel like book fairs.
Yeah. Those knives were good. All right. Anyways, we got some more stuff to talk about today.
I'd love if we didn't. Could we just keep doing this?
Yeah, we could.
No, it's fine.
The Hantavirus thing, we should say, the Hantavirus that's in Illinois, I don't think that's the bad. I mean, it's bad Hantavirus, but I don't think that it's like the one that is spread person to person. So that's good.
So how long until you guys think they just shut it down?
3 weeks.
It feels like we're running the same playbook back.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna reach that spot because it's not like as contagious. It's just like if you find mouse poop in your house, just clean your house.
But is there opportunity in people shutting it down? Like, is this a good enough reason for whoever could be opportunistic in shutting things down to shut things down?
Well, here's the thing, Zach. You got guys like you and me on the front lines. We're not going to let that happen. We're not getting shut down.
I'll go in the house so quick, Big T.
I guess we did just say we would give it all up for 2 more weeks.
If it was a 40% fatality rate, we're gonna try to shut it down. But I don't think that people will shut it down.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. That's what this is. The
That's
Chilean or the Andes Hantavirus.
That's no good. That's too many percentage of fatality.
Yeah.
What percent are you comfortable
Like
with?
12. Past 12, 13, I'm probably out.
Once we're in the teens.
Yeah.
So you think like 1 out of 10 chance you're gonna we'll just roll the dice.
Those are fair odds. Yeah. Like if that's what's given to me, it's like, okay, I'm okay with this. 40%, I'm freaking out.
Yeah, 40%.
I think 9 to 10 is a big jump for me. Once you hit double digits.
Double digits is huge.
I think 9, 1 out of 11, fine.
Yeah.
Once you get to 1 out of 10, I mean it's a whole less person.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get there. But I think what we're seeing right now is like people in the news, anything hantavirus related, they're going to be reporting on it, even though like buried in this article it says that this is the North American strain, which the individual is believed to have potentially acquired, is not spread from person to person. It's different from the Andes strain associated with the cruise ship. And they think that patient 0 on that cruise ship was a guy that was really to bird watching, because bird watchers, they'll go to landfills because that's where a lot of birds go, because there's like all that garbage and food they can have. And also at landfills, you get a lot of like rats and mice and rodents, and that's where they come across the poop. I've never really gotten into bird watching. I don't really understand. I like looking at birds and being like, that's a cool bird. But I don't get the people that have like the checklists that have to go on like vacations to try to fill them all.
Bird searchers you're out on.
Yeah, bird searcher.
You and I can be a bird watcher.
Yeah.
Nice bird.
Great bird. Like
if you come across one, but it's when you go searching for the birds.
There's nothing more pleasurable on a road trip than to be like, there's a hawk. You're driving down the road. There's a hawk on that telephone pole. Look at it. Red-tailed hawk. You ever do that?
I'm sure inadvertently.
You point out hawks to people. You ever do that, Zach?
I mean, you see a big bird, you got to point it out. Hawk, vulture,
Yeah, that's
bald
hawk.
eagle.
That's
I don't
hawk.
like vultures.
We got a hawk up there.
I don't necessarily like them either, but if you're just walking into the gas station off a road trip trying to grab some snacks and you see a vulture, it's hard not to be like,
Right.
oh shit, a vulture.
Right. I don't like big birds, except for Big Bird. Fan of his.
Did I ever tell you about? I did. I talked about the parrot that we had in our house growing up for a couple years. Jimmy.
I don't recall.
My dad had a parrot for a couple years.
Oh, yeah, that hated you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hated everybody.
Okay, yeah.
He only respected my dad. But his cage was right up against the wall and the windows in our kitchen. And so sometimes there would be like a hawk that would go into the backyard, and Jimmy would sometimes see this hawk through the window, and he would hide in his cage from the hawk because like instinctually he knew that hawk meant business, and it was going.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did he speak English?
No, Jimmy never said any words.
Okay, good. I'm out on that. I don't like that.
We had a parrot for a couple of years. His name was Sinbad. And when my dad would go to work, he would go, bye, Joe. And then we'd come back and go, hi, Joe.
Really?
Yeah. He bit everyone in the family but me because I wouldn't hold him because he was mean.
Yeah, parrots are, what kind of bird? What kind of parrot?
I think it was a blue macaw is the name of the bird.
Okay.
I could be incorrect, but it's blue something, maybe macaw something.
And they got those weird tongues. I don't like those
Oh,
tongues.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like a thermometer in there.
Is this what it looked like?
No. It was like yellow and blue a little bit. And he was so mean. But he was also in the kitchen up against the windows.
I don't know what it is about.
Duck his head.
Yeah,
I do like that. I do like when they.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
like that kind of bird.
Oh, yes. Like to the
that
right
one?
there, yes.
Okay, so it's a classic parrot. Like when we think of like cartoon parrots.
Yeah.
My dad's a big Jimmy Buffett guy, so
That is a Jimmy
We had a
Buffett
parrot in the
parrot.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool looking birds, but yeah, when they start talking,
it's kind of freaky.
is that all that it knew? Hi Joe, bye Joe.
It was just hi Joe, bye Joe, and I think it was just the work clothes because he wore the same like work stripes every day. But
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Say
And
that.
when you left, it wouldn't talk to you at all.
no, I didn't interact with the bird very much. I knew he was no good, and I didn't want to get bit.
Yeah,
So
parrots they're kind of dickheads. Like my dad's parrot would just climb off of his shoulder, walk over to me on the couch, bite me, and then walk back to him.
no redeeming quality there.
No redeeming quality whatsoever.
I'm out on birds and reptiles. I don't do those.
Yeah, reptiles. You got to be a special kind of guy.
Well,
be
when
a
I
reptile
was a
guy.
kid, my uncle had an iguana, and then somehow it got pawned off on us. I don't recall how we ended up with the iguana, but my parents put it in my room, and those things sit under heat lamps that are, I lived in a room that was hotter than hell in half of Georgia for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I hate iguanas.
I think with reptiles and with birds, it just seems. I'd be an asshole if I was them too. If I was a bird and I was like living in a cage all day, that's pretty tough. Like
fair enough.
a normal bird, the world is you can fly. You can go anywhere you want. You have the best superpower. And then in captivity, you're like, okay, I'm living in a shoebox right now. I'd be a dickhead.
You took their whole life away.
Yeah. I'd be an asshole if I was a parrot. So
Did your parrot ever fly around?
yeah, sometimes like if we didn't clip his wings, because you got to clip some of the feathers on their wings so they don't fly away. He would fly.
Oh, so you were cutting off his wings too?
The feathers.
We
yeah.
got to clip the wing.
No wonder he was an asshole.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I get why parrots are dickheads now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, he would try to fly around sometimes, and he would be able to like glide across the room, but like, you know, on a downward trajectory. If he started off on a bookshelf,
looking for the nearest airport.
Yeah. He'd be landing like a glider. But then, you know, if we waited too long to cut the feathers, he was capable sometimes of like flying around the room and dive bombing you, like landing on your shoulder, biting your neck, and then flying away. He was a real dickhead. But I get it. And I think most parrots are like that. They respect one person, and that's their person.
Yeah, it was like my dad was just like not keeper of the parrot, but like they were best friends, and everybody else just didn't exist. And if he noticed you exist, it's attack mode. It's on site. And I didn't want anything to do with that.
Yep. That's how they operated. Big T, do you have anything to say to me about the Wizards?
Congrats.
Thank you.
I saw they got the #1 pick.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Who do you want them to take?
Debansa.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Just ask me about the Wizards whenever you feel like it.
Okay. You're 100% Wizards now?
I'm 100% back in.
All right, so out of your here's your pie, right? So you have Commanders, Wizards, Nats, Caps.
Yeah, it's big pie.
So what percentage? What did the Wizards go from to?
The Wizards went from about 1%, maybe less than 1%, and I think this is fair on my part. Maybe you feel otherwise, but when I was growing up, I was a diehard Wizards fan. I would go to Wizards games. Probably went to as many Wizards games growing up as I did Caps games. I'd watch the Wizards on TV all the time. They were like my basketball team. I remember when they changed the name to the Wizards. I remember when we got Michael Jordan. I remember that. Everything about him. And then sometime around, I would say, it started when our two best players tried to shoot each other.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had to just say no more Wizards. Just bury them and just say, this team has never done anything to warrant. You
shot them.
To warrant I took them out back.
Yeah.
And I said this team has never done anything to warrant any attention that I've ever given them through my entire life. I remember I did go to one playoff series. I think it was Heat Wizards back in 2005, and I paid my chest. I forget what letter I was, but me and two of my buddies, we did WIZ.
Nice.
But they were if it was the Z, that would be a very funny visual, given like the Russian invasion and what they do to their tanks. If somebody could track down that picture of me,
Russian invasion.
They label all their shit with a giant Z.
Ah,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Don't really know. But I was a Wizards fan, and then I said no more Wizards. I paid attention in the John Wall era because for a couple seasons we had Wall, we had Bradley Beal when he was good. And it was like, oh, we might put together something interesting here. I mean, that when we had Paul Pierce and that whole crew, that was an interesting team. But really, for the most part, they've been completely irrelevant for my entire life. And when I say my entire life, the last time they had 50 wins in a season was 1979. So that's pretty bad.
So technically never, because that would have been the Bullets.
That would have been the Bullets. And that would have been off the heels of winning an NBA championship. They were good in the 70s.
People are asking if the name change really took things on a downward spiral. Should they change names again?
I would be fine. Yeah, I love the name Bullets.
I don't think they can go back to Bullets, though.
I say bring it back. I would be completely fine with it.
If they had to do something else, what would you want?
I mean, if they're going to stick with Wizards, I would like them to lean into the Wizard imagery a little bit.
Because now they're just the red, white, and blue. They're the monuments.
Yeah. I think they steered away from the Wizards because they're like, this is kind of cartoonish, and the entire aesthetic is like late 90s, early 2000s, angular, futuristic. We don't like that anymore. So let's just do classic red, white, and blue, and at least they're the same colors as the Caps, owned by the same guy, Ted Leonsis. So I would be fine with leaning into like some hardcore Wizard imagery. You know, like call the stadium the Crystal Ball. I don't know.
That would be fun.
Like have a giant guy with a beard that comes out before the game, and like in the intros, he's got his magic wand and he's like firing it at the players and shit.
You don't do T-shirts, you do cloaks.
Oh, cloaks. Yeah, cloaks and capes. Yeah.
What if they bought the rights to the Washington Generals from the Globetrotters?
In theory, I don't hate that, but the problem is the Washington Generals, they just,
never win.
They just got their ass kicked. Yeah.
Well, what better team to?
That's the old Wizards.
Right.
So I'm explaining to you my journey with the Wizards, because I did grow up loving them, and then I kind of stopped paying attention in the early 2000s, early 2010s, and then John Wall came. That whole team was a little bit fun. Then he tore his Achilles. Then it was just like, okay, no, there's no point in paying attention. Then 3 years ago, we got the guys from the Thunder, the old executives like Winger, and I was like, we've got a plan in place. And the plan was correct. The plan is the plan that the Thunder did, that the Sixers did. You have to try to be bad in the NBA. That's the only. You have to do a complete tear down of your franchise, which they did. And that included bringing in guys like Jordan Poole, who is like, okay, this guy might have some fun highlights every now and again, but he's the perfect guy that you want if you want your team to be bad. And you say, you just get your points. Go out there, get your points however you want, Jordan. And then he'll go like 17 for 40, and you'll lose by 14 points. That's exactly who you want. So now we have a good team that we're building up. I think we've got elements of a good team. And I think with the number one pick and Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, I think we're going to be awesome. And then Zach and I are working together on a new project. It's called The Whizzler. It's a new social media phenomenon.
Okay.
We're just going to do Wizards facts and like Wizards updates on TikTok.
Just deep Wizards news,
Also, if
on the team or Wizards in general?
That's a moving target, but so far the team.
Okay. But it could expand?
It just depends.
There's a lot of different kind of Wizards out there.
Yeah, like what if the basketball team leans into the Wizards?
Right.
And then it would be almost a disservice of us not to do the same.
Yeah.
Right.
And also any Rizzler updates too.
That as well.
Rizzler news counts.
Haven't heard from him.
That's why it's a great news source to have, like one place to go for your Rizzler updates.
AJ and Big Justice are trying to make a comeback right now.
They never left.
Yeah,
though.
what do you mean
What are we talking about? You saw the new home. Beautiful home.
I have not seen the new home.
Oh, a gorgeous home.
Did you work here when they were here?
I did not. I missed AJ
it was
and
a
Big
magical
Justice.
day.
Yeah, that would have been what a day.
Yeah, we boomed together.
That's all time.
It was special.
You're gonna take that with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've got a vid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Your
as
timeline
close as two guys can get.
Yeah.
Your timeline is now pre-boom and post-boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now PFT, you said that you were talking about fun facts about the Wizards. You said that you came in here today with a list of fun facts for us.
I did.
I'd love to hear some.
You want to hear some fun facts?
I would. What are these just all ranging?
Yeah, it's from Ramin Nazibov on X.com, the Everything app. It's all happening on X. Oh, he follows me. That's cool. He also follows 346,000 other people. All right, Ramin.
I'm trying to make sure that's not some sort of. Say it again.
Ramin Nasibov. RAMINNASIBOV.
Okay. I was trying to make sure that wasn't a bend over situation.
Oh, gotcha.
Ramin.
Ramin Nasibov. Yeah, Ramin Nasibov. Anyways, he's a branding and visual identity designer, whatever that means. And he tweeted out, "What historical fact sounds fake but is true?" And so I was just reading some of these, and a couple of them blew my mind.
I'd love to have my mind blown.
Okay, mathematically, no two people have ever shuffled a deck of cards.
Oh, I knew, and I asked. Zach, did I not ask when he came in here? I said, are these good facts or are they bad? And you told me they were good.
Wait, we didn't even see where he didn't get to land that plane yet.
It's that no deck of cards has ever been shuffled the same way. 52 factorial. Everyone knows that. I'm disappointed.
Did you know that?
I hate to do this, but I would have assumed at least one time there's the same deck.
I mean, it's possible, but it's
fact.
remarkably unlikely. You know what 52 factorial means, Zach?
Again, we're getting to some things I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
So the first card could be any one of 52, right?
Yep.
Second card could be any one of 51.
Yep.
Third, 50, so on and so forth. So the number of the possibility of that card is 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 times 48, so on and so forth. And it's some number that you could never possibly reach
Okay.
if you wanted to.
But this fact is just like denying coincidence because, like,
Yeah.
hey, come on, there maybe one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
That's
But
why-
it is does it have the number on there?
I didn't see the number, but it did say mathematically,
Right.
meaning that it probably has happened, but mathematically it should never happen. But I think if you take out a brand new set of cards and then you shuffle those by hand, like they're in the same order when you take them out of the deck. So I think that maybe on that first shuffle, we've had some instances where yes, it has happened.
It's almost a layup. It puts it in line for you. Get right.
Yes, yeah, it cuts the odds a little bit.
Hang on, I'm
Okay.
trying to find. I asked ChatGPT how many seconds is 52 factorial in years. It's some astronomical.
Wait, how many seconds?
It's okay. How many seconds is 52 factorial
And then how many
denoted in years?
Okay, gotcha.
52 factorial seconds it gives the number. I don't even know what it is. Roughly 10 to the 50th power times the age of the universe.
Wow. Okay, so it's like the oldest thing you could ever imagine.
It's a number you could never fathom.
See, isn't this is mind
But everyone knows that.
I didn't know it. Mad Dog McKenzie, did you know it?
I have not heard that before.
Wow.
I've heard of a factorial a long time ago.
Everyone knows the deck of cards. Everyone knows the cards.
Okay.
All right. I hope these get better.
Okay, the T-Rex lived closer in time to us than it did to the Stegosaurus.
It's a mildly interesting fact.
Other dinosaurs?
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Do you guys think dinosaurs are displayed how they really are?
I remain skeptical, but I'd
What
like
do you
to
mean
hear
by
what you
that?
think.
I'm just curious because like we dig up the bones, but we make a lot of assumptions as far as like where they go, and then the flesh that covers those bones. I'm just curious if you guys think like the images we get of dinosaurs are really what dinosaurs.
But they've
look
been
like.
able to recreate them pretty well.
I think
We
there's
have Zach, do you know we have the largest complete dinosaur skeleton in the world in Chicago?
I did not know that, but I think we take a lot of liberties on what that skeleton looks like.
Where is this skeleton located?
At the Field Museum.
And what is it?
It's a T-Rex, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either, but I know it's the largest complete skeleton in the world.
I agree with Zach, though. I don't know. I think when they're unearthing the bones, they have a pretty good idea what a rib bone is, like what a leg bone looks like compared to a finger bone. But I think they take a lot of liberties with the skin and the outside.
Like the appearance, like the flesh, and like maybe I agree.
Yeah, they could have feathers, for all we know. But when we see them, it's like lizards, like scales.
Yeah, we went one narrative on the skin type and ran with it, as
Yeah.
opposed to like do you think dinosaurs had facial hair, or do you think they had?
That's a good. I've never thought of that. Like if they had mustaches.
Yeah, like isn't that an adaptation, right, for like
Yeah.
dust and stuff? So maybe or like isn't a beard like armor? Didn't we adapt beards for like getting hit in the face?
Maybe for getting hit in the face. Maybe for like filtering out dust or things like that, protecting your mouth.
So I could see maybe dinosaurs also going through those same struggles, especially living outside.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never thought of it. Some dinosaurs could have had like fur, and then that fur started to evolve and shrink, and they don't, like some are hairier than others.
And there's no way they're leaving that behind with the fossil.
No.
Right?
No,
The
that
keratin's just going away.
Yeah, that goes into dust. But yeah, a dinosaur with a beard I've never thought about that, but you might be right. You might be right.
I think I may have found a fact to redeem your first fact.
Okay. All
I
right.
think it puts it in better perspective.
Okay.
If you took one step every billion years, starting from the Grand Canyon, and walked around the Earth back to the Grand Canyon, taking one step every billion years, and dropped a grain of sand into the Grand Canyon, then did it again, dropped another grain of sand, did that until you filled the Grand Canyon with individual grains of sand, taking one step every billion years, you would be less than 1% of the way to 52 factorial when you finished.
Okay, that's insane. That's actually insane.
I think that's
that's
a
a number
good
that
fact.
doesn't exist.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, good fact.
Yeah.
You just fact cucked me.
No, I redeemed your fact.
It's okay.
I supplemented.
It's okay. Nintendo, the company, was founded in 1889. Did you know that?
What were they? A textile company or something?
Actually, the person didn't say what they were, but I can look it up right now.
That was the whole fact? I
Yeah.
thought there was more coming.
No, Nintendo was founded in 18...
Guys, these are not.
That's like 150 years ago, Big T. They do video games.
I know that, but like...
No way they were doing video games 150 years ago.
Right, but they just repurposed
No,
like a name of something.
It was games.
Oh, they
It was
like
playing,
table games.
It was
or
playing cards.
something. Okay.
Isn't that kind of interesting that like the same gaming company has
You
existed that long?
came in here and said these facts blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. I did not know that about Nintendo.
A little older than you thought.
I did not think.
Next fact. I need there to be a good fact in here, Eric.
They're fun facts. We got to get you on the fun side of the facts. Big
Yeah,
T.
I think you're approaching it with the wrong mindset.
You got to come into these facts with open arms.
This next fact, Creed, arms wide open.
You're approaching it with the wrong mindset.
Great wingspan.
Thank you.
So Nintendo, they would make these playing cards, and then
He's still on Nintendo.
you would play the games in like Yakuza restaurants and Yakuza parlors,
Okay.
like going to the mafia place, and then you'd play your Nintendo.
All right.
And then now it's still a gaming. That's not interesting to you at all?
It's mildly interesting. 1 to 10, 10 being mind blown. It's a 2.
They went from Yakuza to Mario.
Yeah. And some of the cards had like the flower that Mario would run into later on. They kept some of that same imagery around.
Okay. Next fact.
And that's not interesting to you at all.
I told you, it's a 2. It's mildly interesting.
Okay. The bloodiest naval battle in history was actually not in any of the world wars. It was actually not even AD. It was before Jesus. It was the Battle of Salamis between the Persians and the Greeks in 480 BC.
Okay.
Not impressive to you.
What? Next fact.
That's terrifying just because they didn't have a gun. So that's all hand-to-hand combat, right? It'd be close quarters fight. Like they would have to... And
just a shitload of ships just sinking to the bottom.
It's better than Nintendo.
Oh, naval, you're right. It's on sea. I was thinking on land. That's on me.
It was on the sea. One side had about 400 ships in the battle. The other had about 800 ships in the battle. 340 ships sunk in this one battle. Is that not...
No, that's something.
Is
that's
that not
something.
crazy to you?
It's better than Nintendo.
Is that not crazy to you?
It's pretty crazy. I'd love to see the what the ships looked like.
Okay. You can look those up.
All right. Next fact.
There was one man in Japan who lived to age 93 that survived the atomic bomb at Hiroshima and the bomb at Nagasaki. He was in both cities when the bombs went off and survived.
Okay.
He's 2-0 against nukes, Big T.
That's not impressive. One man survived.
No, it's impressive for
2
him.
nuclear blasts.
Do you want me to? These are some mom Facebook ass facts right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know what else.
These are facts that your mom sees on a Facebook like tile and reposts.
Here's one.
Wow, crazy.
I did know this, but maybe you didn't know it because you're not a shieldy like me.
You're correct. I'm not.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald has more tackles in his NFL career than drop passes.
I actually did know that. You got to give me. I was ready, dude. I was ready for insane facts, and you're giving me bubblegum wrapper ass facts.
Zach, what do you think about these facts?
I mean, you
can be honest.
In full transparency, the last fact was a guy beating out 2 nukes. That's that's very impressive.
I'd love to know, was he in the city limits or was he
It's
close?
a nuke.
These are fast.
We're talking about
what I should have said is like these are fast, fun facts.
quick, fun quips.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Did you know Hank Aaron would still have 3,000 hits if he never hit a home run? That's what you're doing right now.
And you don't find those impressive?
I do. It's impressive. Did you know Detroit's east of Atlanta?
I did know that, yes.
Is there a subgenre of fact you'd have more fun with, Big T?
I liked where we were going with the before Christ naval battles.
Okay, how about this? The state of New Mexico was named before and is older than the country of Mexico.
I'd be intrigued to learn more about
New
that.
Mexico is older than Mexico. The name.
Explain that to me.
That's
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Again, these are quick, fun facts.
Okay, hit me again. I liked where we were going there.
Wait, so how would they have New Mexico before original OG Mexico? How could you be the New Mexico, but you're the first Mexico?
I think
I'm also seeing that this isn't entirely accurate.
I'm thinking that there was a place called Mexico, but it wasn't a country called Mexico. And then New Mexico became a state or became a place, and then the country of Mexico adopted the name of Mexico, even though it had already been, some parts had probably already been called. That's my guess.
So they moved on from original Mexico, but then original Mexico made it big time second.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It had been called Mexico since the 1500s, but it didn't gain independence and become the country of Mexico till 1821.
That's a fun fact, isn't it?
It's that
Thank you.
Give me some more.
Okay, Egyptian mummies used to be food and medicine for European kings and queens. They would import mummy bodies from Egypt, and they would eat them and take them as medicine until the early 1900s. There are people eating mummies.
That's an odd and interesting fact.
Okay.
I thought these were going to be good.
Dude, that's an uncomfortable fact. Dude.
Yeah.
They're eating people for like Tylenol. That's what. I mean, it's a pretty good fact. I'm going to use that one.
See, Zach kind of has to kiss your ass and tell you that these are great facts.
Mad Dog McKenzie.
That's not true. That's inaccurate and unfair to me. And these facts, I would just like to say, royal families eating bodies.
It's interesting
to cure headaches is a fun
but
fact.
Zach, you were here when he pitched these facts. He said they
was
were
here.
mind-blowing facts.
I think there's a world where you might just know more facts than me.
No,
so
but
then
like,
my ability to be like, wow, that's a good fact could be a lower threshold than yours.
No, but I don't know these. It's just like
You're
I was
fact-flexing.
expecting mind blown, and my mind is mildly piqued.
You could be fact flexing.
I'm not, because I don't know these facts. I did know the deck of cards. Like, bro, I mean, that's elementary stuff. But
I think deck of cards in the room was 1 knew and then 4 didn't. So majority didn't know. That's not elementary stuff. Come on.
Okay. You know what? Maybe I'm an asshole.
No, that's not true. But we're objectively rating these facts.
Okay.
Mad Dog McKenzie, have any of these facts been interesting to you? Or are you
no. The bar is blow your mind because
are
that's
you
what you
a
pitched.
big wet blanket like
Was it
Big
blow
T?
your mind?
That's what you pitched.
I've had fun.
I like them.
Notice they didn't say their minds have been blown.
I will say, some of them are more mind-blowing than others.
Mm-hmm.
But not all facts are different. Not all facts are the same. All of them will blow your mind in different ways. And facts are subjective. So maybe some person that's listening to this show knew about the cards, and some person is literally driving their car having their mind freaking blown right now.
How about that?
I think it's all about perspective.
That's fair enough. I thought we were getting like 10 out of 10 facts.
But have you thought that like maybe to other people they are 10 out of 10 facts?
It could be, but to me it was pitched that my mind was going to be blown. Give me one more. I want your best fact.
I don't have a best fact.
I want your best fact.
I don't think I have a best fact, but I have one.
Okay.
The nation of the United States is 100 years older than the nation of Italy.
Italy only became a country like 100 years ago?
The modern country of Italy.
What was the not modern country
We
of Italy?
beat it. The United States beat it by 100 years into the modern nation of Italy. I don't know what it was called in the 1700s.
Do you have more on that?
Yeah, we can look up the history of Italy and what they were called in the 1700s. What was Italy called in the 1700s?
It was the Kingdom of Italy. Or no.
The Kingdom of Naples.
Before the March 17th, 1861, the peninsula was a collection of city-states, foreign-controlled regions, and papal states.
Pretty crazy,
which
right?
were not unified until 1861 under the Kingdom of Italy.
Is that not a wild fact? Did you not know that?
That's interesting.
Thank you.
That's interesting.
Thank you.
Because you think Italy, you think old.
Okay.
You think super old.
Yeah, you think everything's very old.
Rome?
Which it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it wasn't Italy.
Just not unified. Yeah. Do you have any mind-blowing facts, Big T?
No, I didn't come in here pitching mind-blowing.
Anything crazy that you would like to blow my mind with?
I think we learned today that facts are a spectrum.
Yes, we
I
did.
think so.
Because some of it mind blown by some, and some of it mind blown by others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just got, and listen, if a fact is not your cup of tea, you just got to wait for the next one, because the next one might be.
That's true.
All right, cool. Good. I'm glad we had this conversation.
I enjoyed it.
I was really looking forward to it. And you know what? It ended up being good. I'm glad we had that.
I think you guys one day should go fact for fact. Just try to bring just the most over-the-top facts you could possibly think of.
Fact off?
We did that. Remember we did that one time with the sleep episode between Billy and Big T, and it got like near physical.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we
Well,
did try
that
to do it.
was-
We did try to do a fact off and turn violent.
Well, that was I was
physical on
accused
facts?
of plagiarizing him for drawing information from the same third-party sources. So then we said we'll have a debate of sorts as to who can gather better information.
So he was stealing sources, or you were stealing sources?
It wasn't stealing. We both got information from the same places about. I don't even remember what it was about.
Did he call dibs originally on that source? Or
No,
but like theoretically, Billy, like in his mind, claimed it, and so it was
right.
I could
it was
see-
low key plagiarism that Big T used. The same
Right.
source.
There's some grounds there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about this one? Just last one. Sharks have been around longer than trees.
See, that freaks me out.
Interesting fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
Hey,
you.
hey, shake my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that, huh?
That was an interesting fact.
My mind's blown by that.
That is crazy. Sharks are dinosaurs. They're also older than the North Star. They're older than the Rocky Mountains, but not older than the Appalachians. Shout
out.
Yeah, Appalachians. Appalachians used to be the biggest mountain range in the world. Yeah, it used to be the Himalayas of like old school Pangea.
Wait, so you think the first time a shark breached water and saw a tree that he'd never seen there before is like, we got a problem outside?
Yeah, he's like, I got to go tell the squad like things are happening up on land.
There's some stuff changing that we don't really understand.
Yeah, they would have never known where that would end up.
No.
Like it was probably a shark paradise before trees.
Now their roots are just invading the water.
Yeah, and then they give oxygen, and then eventually, like human beings will breathe that oxygen, then they'll come kill us. Like that was the beginning of the end for sharks.
Yeah, without trees, there's no fishing poles. So like trees may have nerfed the shark population way more than we could originally assume.
Yeah, they were just like, there goes the neighborhood. Oh, they got trees over there too. We got to move.
It's done for.
Zach,
Yeah,
are you a shark guy?
I like to dabble in sharks.
Yeah, you strike me as
I'm
a
in on
shark guy.
sharks.
Shark Week, you're locked in.
Oh, I'm on the couch, double snacked up, ready.
Yeah, I could
Shark
tell.
Week's a good week. I think they should expand it. I've had talks about that before.
But see, then you're like one of these college football playoff people. You can't when you can't expand something and not dilute its value.
I disagree.
The value in Shark Week lies in its scarcity.
I would say that when it comes to the college football playoff, there's always a common goal there, and that's winning the game. When it comes to sharks, it's survival. So it's like every day, every hour of TV is a different page in their shark books. You know what I mean? Like it's always evolving with sharks. It's ever changing, and it's never the same. We've seen a lot of the same go routes. We've never seen the same shark on shark contact.
Now,
We haven't?
some people
Always a different outcome.
Okay.
some people would say that Shark Week like used to be great, and now it's not great anymore.
I would like to agree to that. There's like they've nerfed it a little bit in terms of like.
Would you say you want to make Shark Week great again?
I would say Shark Week's always been great. It never was not great. That I think Shark Week could be
Even greater.
even better.
The Michael Phelps thing was not great. That was
No.
not great.
That was bad. They should have had. You know what that was? I don't think that there were enough people working on Shark Week that year that actually loved and cared about Shark Week. And if you get real diehard Shark Week people that are working with, they would have stood up and said, "Hey, like this is outside the scope of what we normally do. I don't think it's good for the brand."
I could see that. There's guys getting the Shark Week jobs for resume, not because they love sharks, and that's just not cool.
That's not what Shark Week should be all about. Now, Shark Week when I was growing up was must see TV. It was incredible. Do you have a favorite kind of shark?
I like the idea. I like nurse sharks just because you can get in there and swim with them, and like nurse sharks are pretty chill. I mean, tiger shark's terrifying just because they go in the brackish water, so you think you're in a lake, but then boom, shark.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like probably my number one op shark. But yeah, I like the nurse shark probably the best.
What do you think about hammerheads?
I don't. Hammerhead's pretty aggressive.
I think hammerheads need a better PR team. because like they're crazy looking. But when I was growing up, I feel like they were the number 2 shark that we heard about. Number 1 was great white, always going to be great white. And then number 2 was hammerhead. Those are like the 2 sharks you'd see in cartoons, 2 sharks that they made like gummy snacks out of. And then you get older, and then you got the nurse shark, tiger shark, bull shark, whale shark. All those sharks kind of like stealing some of the shine from hammerhead. I think that hammerheads, they need to be more prominently featured in Shark Week.
I would like to retweet that just on the basis of like, if you didn't see the scale of like a great white to a hammerhead, and just off appearance, like say on a page, you'd be like, this shark would way more fuck me up than this shark. But the hammerheads never use that to their like as a strength to grow the brand of hammerheads.
Yeah, hammerhead, also the name sounds more violent, but like they don't actually use the head as a hammer. It's like kind of a misleading name. Like it's just kind of a weird looking face they got.
Just kind of freaky.
It's kind of freaky. But yeah, I remember I went to one time I went to go visit Ecuador and the Galapagos Islands, which are awesome. If you ever get the chance to go to the Galapagos, you should definitely go, because it's just like, it's all these giant tortoises walking around. Like I'm talking like maybe 500 pounds or more. These huge tortoises walking around on the earth. You got sea lions that'll like play with you in the water. You've got species of birds and species of like all sorts of stuff that you'll never see anywhere else. It's a really cool place. And when I was there, I was out on the beach, and there was a group of students from UNC that was like sitting behind me on the beach, and they were there studying abroad, because there's like a lot of marine biology centers down there. It's like one of the coolest places. So there's a lot of science that goes on there. And they were talking about their week, and they're like, oh man, this week's going to suck. We have to wake up at 7 o'clock every morning because we're going to go scuba dive with the hammerhead sharks at their breeding ground. It's like, wait, you have the coolest fucking week ever. And talked to them later on in the week, and they said, yeah, they got to just like swim with a bunch of sharks that were having like essentially an orgy in the water all around them, but the sharks didn't like pay the humans any mind. That's pretty cool. You don't hear about that side of the hammerheads, that they're swingers.
No, I've never once heard about a hammerhead freak off ever.
No, probably for good reason. We're going to get back to macrodosing in a second. It's brought to you by Shady Rays. I've got my Shady Rays right here. Restocked on Shady Rays for the summertime. Quick question. How are these Shady Rays the same quality as the $200 sunglasses I used to buy? I'm not exaggerating. They feel every bit as premium as the expensive brands that I've owned. Meanwhile, I'm rocking Shady Rays on the lake, on the boat, at the game, on the job site, because if I drop them in the ocean, if I lose them in a lake, if I knock them off the dock, if I sit on them, if I break them, Shady Rays replaces them, and they're actually premium. They're polarized lenses that cut the glare hard. They've got super clear optics, really good frames, solid hinges on these. I'm seeing Shady Rays everywhere I go now, out in public. When we first started advertising with Shady Rays back in the day, it was very much a startup sunglasses company. If you know, you know. And now I see them everywhere I go. They're that good. I spent my own money on them just about a month ago, restocked on Shady Rays for the summertime, and they've got that lost and broken protection. We teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Go to shadyrays.com, use code MACRO, get 50% off 2 or more polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. All right, we're back on macrodosing. Zach, I texted you yesterday because I was doing some research on the Elon Musk versus Sam Altman OpenAI lawsuit that's been in the news. And there's just a lot of stuff about AI in general that you read about when you're getting into the details of this, and like where they see it going, the people that are in charge of making it, how they're trying to get there. And I thought to myself, like, Zach probably has some thoughts on AI. So I wanted to hear what you had to say, and then you texted back and you're like, yeah, I do have some thoughts, including like maybe we're already in AI. So what are your thoughts on AI?
My thoughts on AI, pretty like run-of-the-mill stuff. You know, like I think AI will take. It's taking a lot of jobs. They will continue to take a lot of jobs, and I also think there's a world where we are in the AI already. Just something to think about.
What does that mean?
Like, all right. So you know, like the first iPhone,
Sure.
and the current iPhone,
Right?
you saw how quick we got to the newest iPhone.
Uh-huh.
Like technology advances so quickly and moves so fast and rapidly that, like, who's to say they haven't already jumped that far, like 100x, and we're not already in it, like full encompassing simulation via AI.
So what happened when when it got to that like singularity? Like, did everybody die and we just got replaced with code?
No, I don't. There's a world where Earth is just like, just like a program in somebody's laptop in a different universe.
Gotcha. So like the aliens maybe.
I don't. It could just be a simulation of exactly how life is for them. So it could be the exact same as this. Like they could look one-to-one to us. They could speak one-to-one to us. They just figured out the AI stuff first.
Have you ever seen Black Mirror?
I've not. I heard a lot of stuff about it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, there's one episode where this guy he writes a computer program on his computer way back in the day, and it's these like little just like digital guys that are just like walking around in a civilization, and then they get together and they start building stuff, and then they become like self-aware, and they look at the guy that made them as like their god and their provider, and then he looks at them as, oh, they're real things now. Do you think that maybe that's like there's a alien civilization or like some dude that created us as a computer program, and now he loves us even though we're not real?
I'm not 100% sure if it's just one singular man that could have done it all, but I just know, like, how they have the concerns, it's like we're integrating AI and then AI thinks for itself and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What if we're already there and we did the thing where it's like, oh, it's a helpful search engine, and then it's a helpful facial recognition service, and then it's just an RFID chip, and then it just like I think there's a ladder that we may have climbed already to get us to we're in the software.
You guys are getting close. You're a little bit off.
He's got the Bible.
You're getting close. There is a guy who created you and loves you.
Is he the AI father?
No.
Like, would he look at us as being artificial intelligence because he made us?
Not in the sense that you're using it.
If you made something, would you be like, this is artificial because I made it?
No.
If you wrote a program where it was like a million little T's.
On a computer, I think I think if you make something tangible, that makes it more real, not more artificial.
Okay. That's interesting. I think there's some like scary conversations to have around AI. If you get like too theoretical with it, it will blow your mind. Have you ever heard of this one, Zach? That eventually we will be run by like an all-encompassing AI, like a super powerful AI. Like you said, the way that like everything gets more and more powerful so fast.
Like a supreme leader of AI?
Yeah, eventually everything will be run by and optimized by this one supreme AI.
You think is that like centralized the entire globe, or is it like country by country?
I think centralizes everything.
Okay.
Yeah, like in theory, because if it's divided country by country, then some countries are going to have more powerful AIs that are then going to absorb and take over the other ones. So eventually we'll just have one that like runs everything and knows everything.
Is that like what the current race is for?
Yeah. Yeah, for AGI is what they call it. But then once we get to that spot, this AI that knows and sees everything will also have the ability to look back in time. And it will be able to tell who was against developing AI. And then it will punish those people.
Like, you got to go.
That tried to prevent it from ever existing in the first place.
You were for the suppression of AI, you're gone.
Yeah. So now that you know that, now you have to be in favor of AI, or else when AI does exist, it's going to be like, you were an op. Fuck you.
If AI is listening, I'm all the way in.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a safe space, I'm terrified.
Yeah, yeah. If this is an AI-free listening environment. But yeah, pretty crazy.
Did you see this guy who had a Bitcoin wallet with 5 Bitcoin in it from 10, 12 years ago, and he had lost it, forgotten the password, had no way to access it, and he just put every file from his college computer into Claude and said, find this Bitcoin address and password, and it somehow did it. And so that was what's Bitcoin at right now? $100,000? I don't know.
Maybe a little bit less.
So that got him $500,000.
I do think that this guy, does he work for Claude? Is he like an AI evangelist guy?
Doesn't seem to be. It's just a random Twitter account. He has 3,800 followers, but he follows 3,300 people. So
they're
and now if you click on his Bitcoin address, there's 0 Bitcoin in it. So I guess he sold all of it.
there's a lot of good marketers in AI. Like, you remember that essay that came out a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Something really big is happening.
Yeah.
Did you read that one?
I might have missed that one.
It was like right after the Super Bowl. This guy like released an essay that he wrote called "Something Really Big Is Happening," and it was basically like it's now reached the point where like I encourage everybody to just learn everything they possibly can about AI because it's gotten so good that humans won't need to work anymore in the near future. And that guy was like heavily invested in like a lot of AI companies and it was like a commercial for himself. But they're really good at marketing. So like going back to the OpenAI thing, like the company Sam Altman started. So I did some research and found out a little bit more about like how that company grew. And basically Google had a head start in AI. They had some really smart people that were working for them. And then Elon Musk thought to himself, like, I can't let Google control AI. Like, I want to be the one who controls AI because it's me, Elon. Like, I'm the main character. So he reached out to Sam Altman, who is the head of Y Combinator, which is like an incubator out in Silicon Valley that runs a lot of different companies, and like they know all the smartest tech people. And Elon was like, Sam, we need to work together to beat Google. We can't let them have AI. We need to have AI together. So they entered a discussion to have OpenAI become a nonprofit. And so then they positioned themselves as being like the good alternative to like Google's AI department, which is like, we're the nonprofit. We want things to be good with AI. We want AI that's going to help people, not hurt them. So they use that to try to hire a bunch of Google's developers. And then eventually down the line, Sam Altman went in front of Congress and he was like, I'm begging you, Congress, please come up with some laws legislating AI because it's going to be so powerful that we need Congress to like actually put some guardrails in place and say the things that we are and aren't allowed to do. And what that did was, one, it was like them trying to kneecap Google and the stuff they were doing a little bit, which is like, hey, I'm begging you, put some laws in place that will affect us, but also will affect our competition. And also it was really good marketing for the company to talk about how powerful the thing that they were creating was going to be, where he's like scared because then more and more people now want to invest in this company. Like, oh, they're doing the crazy shit that might destroy the world. Sounds like that's really promising technology. I'd like to contribute some money to that. So basically what they ended up doing was like they got into a pissing contest to see it's a race to see who can develop AGI faster. And AGI is the type of AI system that would essentially run the world. Because they're saying what you're saying is like technology doubles in speed so fast. Eventually we're going to get to a place where it's going to run everything. Humans won't have to go to work anymore unless it's something that they love to do. There's going to be universal basic income. And it's going to be like this utopian future. And once that happens, the company that develops that AGI system is going to be worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. Like essentially all the money.
Just all the money.
Yeah. So that's what they've been in a race to do. And when it was a nonprofit, there were some discussions about like, well, what do we do once the company becomes like, if we reach that point where we're worth hundreds of trillions? And they didn't really have a great answer to that. Elon said that he should get the company and then pass it down to his children. And then his children would help to run the company. And then Sam is not like an easy guy to get along with. Mad Dog, you were right. He did get fired for like 5 days. So they call it the blip. He got fired in 2023 when the board turned on him. And they fired him for being a liar. And then 5 days later, they're like, sorry about firing you. You come back. And then the board got replaced. So like he won that competition. But yeah, that probably had to feel pretty good for him. You get fired and then you get brought back 5 days later and everyone's kissing your ass.
Are these guys just in an AI pissing contest?
Yeah.
Like, is it all ego at the top of all this, or?
Yes.
Yeah, but no, because like PFT said, whoever ultimately wins this battle will be so rich it will alter the world economy.
Fair, but like do the guys who are currently in this race, don't they already have like more money than they'll ever need ever?
For the most part.
Yeah.
And then is that this might be a dumb question as well because I really don't know too much about this. Are we just entrusting that they'll use that money positively, or they're just saying
I am entrusting they will use it negatively.
I think they will too, right? Like that's terrifying.
Yeah. So they're all going for AGI, artificial general intelligence, and the way that they all think about it is because they're all such like fantasy dorks. And I don't mean that like if you like fantasy novels that you're a jerk or anything, but these guys are like they look at the real world through the same lens as like Lord of the Rings. And so they look at this as being like that's getting the ring, which like gives you all the power. So they're all competing to get the ring, kind of like ignoring the fact that the whole point of Lord of the Rings is like when you get the ring, it fucks you up.
I think anybody with aspirations for the ring should be put in timeout.
Yeah.
I think if you're trying to come for everything, we might just have to, I don't know, that's just scary stuff. And
Yeah.
then like using fear in court to promote product, like using fear to make money, I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but
No, it does.
this is no good. This can't be good, gentlemen.
It does. And then Sam Altman is saying that, like, yes, he acknowledges, like, yeah, we're all competing to try to get this thing, and it is like the ring. But he's also saying that, like, we want to share the power of the ring equally across the board. But also Sam Altman wants to be the one that is known for, like, acquiring the ring. So there's, like, a lot of ego. There's a lot of power-hungry stuff. And then Elon is upset with Sam Altman because Elon left OpenAI, and he's claiming that OpenAI stole a charity from him. So he was like, this used to be called a charity. We used to be a nonprofit, and then you changed it. You took it away from me, and you turned it into a for-profit enterprise, and that's very mean what you did. So he's been deposed. He's been actually like he was at the trial. Sam Altman testified just yesterday at the trial too. Sam said that Musk wanted total control to pass to his kids, and he talked about a hair-raising moment when they were all having a conversation about what to do, like the future of the company. And they asked Musk, if you have control, what happens when you die? And Musk said, I haven't thought about it. Maybe the control should pass to my children. And then they all said that giving Musk a controlling stake in OpenAI made everybody very uncomfortable, and that Musk's departure from OpenAI's board in 2018 sparked a lot of concern, but also relief. He said people had questions about how OpenAI would be funded and whether he would seek vengeance against the company. But Altman said that Musk's departure was also a morale boost for a lot of researchers that didn't like working for him. And Altman said, I don't think Mr. Musk understood how to run a good research lab. And he was more of like a visionary behind it who would sometimes push too hard on people. But yeah, so now they are at odds with each other. And I don't know what people are expecting the judge to do. Like, I don't think the judge is going to give the entire company to Elon Musk, but I do know that there's so much money at stake. Like right now, I believe it's worth $852 billion. I believe that's the latest figure of how, but if it achieves AGI, then it becomes like hundreds of trillions. But the problem is, I think they wanted to take it away from being a nonprofit because they needed to raise a shitload of money to develop the technology to make it even faster and to get to the point of AGI. So it's like, if you want to grow the company, if you want to make the AI faster, you have to build a shitload of like data centers and server farms. And those are really, really expensive. And you're unable to raise that kind of capital as a nonprofit. So it's like, to get there, you have to change the rules of what you're doing. That's what Sam Altman's saying. And then Elon is saying, no, you don't. And all the money that you've made since ChatGPT came out, I'm entitled to some of that because I gave you some money to help start it up way back in the day.
People are really out on data centers now. That seems like the new thing that everybody's pissed off about.
The last like month,
Yeah.
it's really happened. I've been on this train for a while. Good.
I saw somebody say that you should just buy like tracts of land and then say you're going to put a data center on it, and then the town will buy it back from you for 50% more than what you paid for it, just to not put a data center there.
I just saw something on TikTok last night. Actually, it was in Georgia, Big T. This young woman, her mom's house is about to get leveled, basically, because a data center is being built on that property, basically. And she said that she's trying to stop it, because she is like, my mom's house is not up for sale to these data centers. But then also that the Georgia Power originally offered them $125,000 less than a house of the same size and structure that sold down the street from them 6 months ago. So I don't think, like, not only are these people obviously against the data centers being built in their neighborhoods and being leveled out of their own houses, but it's also like they're not even giving them fair financial compensation for uprooting their entire lives without any ounce of like consent.
I saw there was one in Georgia that used some ridiculous amount of water, and everybody in the town, like, their water pressure wasn't good anymore.
Oh, really?
So they're all
That'll
pissed.
piss everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a data center moves in, like, now you can't get a good shower anymore.
Yeah, I have no hot water right now. I'm really pissed at in my apartment building.
Yeah. What if the data center used so much water, like, nobody could flush the toilet? Like, my poop's not flushed anymore. That would probably be the last straw.
Yeah.
That'd get you in a tizzy.
That would get you in a tizzy. But yeah, I've seen like more and more pushback on these giant data centers being built, and like, my understanding is that when you build them, you have to be prepared to switch out all the hardware in there every 18 months.
Seriously?
Because technology advances so fast that it's like, oh, well, now these are obsolete. So
This entire data center is outdated.
yeah,
So a year and a half, it's like, we need a new one?
we need to buy like an entire new set of chips,
Where do you put the old one?
reinstall them. Then that's
I'm
another
assuming
question.
a
It's like,
landfill.
where do those go? So that's really the problem, is like, and that's what the top scientists, the top computer scientists at these companies have been saying, is like, yeah, theoretically AGI is going to happen, but in reality, we can't do it because it's too expensive to build all the shit, and it's too bad for the environment to build all the shit to have enough computing power to actually get there.
So we'll just destroy everything to get to the utopia before the utopia?
Yeah. It's like
Trying to achieve the utopia destroys everything. So there's no need to even, so why start it, kind of thing?
So like trying to get to maybe the real utopia is before you realize that there's a utopia to conquer.
Just be cool, kind of what's going on, you know?
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just like day to day. There's
And is there like you were saying that they put all the money into it, and then there's like a flip that happens where it's everyone benefits, nobody works.
mm-hmm.
So is there like a hard line when they stop pumping all the money back into it, or is it they just want to race forever?
So that's the question, is like some of the payout models for these companies. It's like, if we ever reach AGI, then you're entitled to like $2 trillion or whatever that percentage is. I think Microsoft, which does have, I think, like a 25% share in OpenAI, I think they have like some clause where it's like, once you reach AGI, then we get like $3 trillion or something.
Okay.
But AGI is so like, it's hard to define. Like you said, like, what's the line of AGI existing? It's like all of a sudden everything's good now and everything's automated.
And are they the ones to determine, like, hey, we hit it, pay us?
I think it was like a neutral group of scientists has to like agree on it. Okay, now we're in AGI, now you get the money. But then at that point, like, do you even really need the trillions of dollars anymore? So it's like
I guess
a catch
it's
22.
obsolete then, yeah?
Yeah, then having trillions of dollars might not be like the flex you think it might be.
So it's just like a weird legacy power play?
It all
I
seems
don't
like
understand.
super dystopian and stupid when you think of like the logical conclusions to it. And yeah, I don't know what the judge is going to determine, because like Elon wants it to go back to being a nonprofit. That's what he says. He wants billions of dollars back because he invested his millions, and they've grown so much since then. And he wants now to be paid out for that. And then on the other side of it, Sam Altman is saying that Musk was trying to merge OpenAI with Tesla and then take over as the CEO, and then it would be his company. And so therefore, like, the whole board agreed it shouldn't go to Elon Musk, so we kicked him out. And now we're doing, some of the same stuff that we had actually planned on doing with Musk. Like, we had discussed making it no longer nonprofit, and he didn't have a problem with that when he was still with us. The rhinoketamine. So OpenAI, they've got lawyers, and they were asking Elon about what he did at Burning Man in 2017. And that was the exact same time that he was doing most of the negotiations with Sam Altman about OpenAI and whether or not OpenAI would become a nonprofit. It was at Burning Man in 2017. And OpenAI, the whole theory they're going with is that Elon, there's no chance he accurately remembers these negotiations because he was on rhinoketamine at the time, allegedly. That's a mixture of ketamine and amphetamine. So basically like heavy amounts of Adderall and ketamine at the same time. And so Musk said that he didn't know what rhinoketamine was. He didn't recall using it at the event. He has previously acknowledged using ketamine. And Elon's attorneys are saying that if you ask about Burning Man, that would be inflammatory and irrelevant, and it would get people in a tizzy. So last month they ruled that OpenAI is not allowed to bring up ketamine in court, but they are allowed to talk about Burning Man, saying Musk's attendance at Burning Man in 2017 is relevant to the attention that he paid with his negotiations with OpenAI, which supposedly occurred during the same period. A supposed lapse in memory from ketamine use could be relevant, but she said OpenAI's lawyers couldn't point to evidence that suggested that Musk used the drug. So it's just basically like they're allowed to say maybe he didn't remember everything correctly because he was at Burning Man having an excellent time, but they can't talk about rhinoketamine. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are right now. It's basically like the two people that are fighting over what they think is the future of all humanity and which one of them is going to get to be able to control it more. And in reality, I don't think that either one will, because I think that you remember, Zach, you remember when like 3D TVs came out?
Yes.
You remember like they were like 3D television, that's the future of television. And then some people got them and it's like, this kind of sucks. Like I've got headaches now. Or I guess maybe a better example would be like Google Glasses back in the day. Mm-hmm. When those came out, they're like, this is going to change everything. And people put them on, they're like, yeah, this sucks. Like the technology sucks. I think that's like a very constant thing in tech fields where it's like the idea of a completely game-changing technology always comes out like way, 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 way before the actual behind-the-scenes technology that can support it will be ready to handle it. So I think that's what they're doing with AGI, which is like theoretically
it could be awesome, but what if it sucks?
But then in practice, it's like we need to turn the entire moon into a data center.
There's chips everywhere, and now we still have to go to work.
Yeah, it would require like twice the population of Earth to all be working to get to like produce the chips and data centers necessary and like live in like sacrifice where you're not getting enough water, nobody's planting any new trees.
But the AI is thriving.
But the AI is getting there, and when it does get there, then everything's going to be fine.
Do we know who let the AI out the like Pandora's box first? Like who was the first guy to hit the switch and like go live with it?
Who was the first?
Like to consumer? I don't know. Like, are the same guys who started all this the ones arguing for regulation now to like cut each other at the knees?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Sam Altman, when OpenAI put out ChatGPT a few years ago, that was like a pretty big moment, I think, in the AI community.
And he was the one saying we need more regulation, or Elon and the other guy were saying we need more regulation?
Sam was saying we need more, but I think a lot of that was him saying we need more so that it seemed like he had this like really powerful thing that he was developing.
Like the commercial play of it. Like, hey, invest in us. Okay.
Like, I've got this technology that's so powerful, I'm begging you to regulate me because I shouldn't have all this power that I have right now. And you can see how other people would look at that and be like, I want to do business with that guy.
What if we just shut it down?
That's what I'm saying.
What if we just shut it down?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't like this.
Like get a bunch of magnets, roll up to some server farms.
Does that work? Would you become a magnet militia?
I think, yeah.
I'm not against that. You know how people do like the wildflowers in the trees, like spread seeds in like cities?
Yeah.
What if we just start sprinkling magnets at server farms?
You're talking about like Johnny Appleseed, but for magnets.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just start dropping a little malware here, a little.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not a bad idea. Would there be a problem with carrying around a bunch of magnets? Probably, right? You're not.
I think we do already though on the laptops and the phones. So like,
You think those? I feel like those.
they're like tiny though, not really.
If you put magnets next to them, how does one acquire like a bunch of magnets? Would that put you on a list somewhere?
It's possible.
Let's
but
see.
they've already got you on lists, dude.
Can I
But you
buy?
might jump to a different list.
Yeah.
Like this list might be kind of chill, but the magnet list could be like a little more high scrutiny.
I think it depends what kind of magnet, too.
Do you think if I try to buy like hundreds of thousands of magnets online, do you think that AI somewhere will pick up on this?
Yes.
Pick up on that order and then shut something down in the supply chain?
There's a chance, maybe.
Like
Yeah,
they-
you're on. You're definitely. You might get a phone call like, "Hey, sir, did you mean to place this magnet order?"
Yeah, or they release a new virus. Like the AI figures out like how to geoengineer a new virus, and it's like we need to shut down the global supply chain because too many people have some big ideas about buying magnets.
We've got the viruses covered pretty well, I think.
Yeah, but
probably.
if big tech gets into viruses, then we're really screwed, right? They're like the smartest guys we got, so they're unleashing like super viruses.
You think they're not already?
That's a great point. Shut it down. Let's
You
just
guys
do
are
it.
already on the list by just talking about it.
Yeah.
I've been on lists for a long time.
There's no specific legal limit on the total number of magnets that a person can own. That's good. That's good to know.
Until you try to buy a bunch.
And then weaponize them at the server farms.
Yeah. They are considered dangerous goods for air transportation if they have a magnetic field stronger than over 0.002 Gauss at 7 feet. I don't know what that means.
Is Elon still doing the ketamine therapy?
I'm
Or is he
sure.
out on
Almost
the ketamine?
certainly.
I'm sure he dabbles. Yeah.
So he could be like 72 hours off a K-hole just in court right now being like, hey, give us this.
I realized something this morning, and it was through one tweet that Elon had. Okay, so Elon right now he is on a plane. That's not just any plane. I'll tell you exactly what plane it is right now. But he's going over to China, and the tweet that he put up at 3:30 a.m. on my way to Beijing in Air Force One is his tweet, and I read this and I thought to myself, this is a Mincy. That's a Mincy. That's a goddamn Mincy tweet if I've ever seen one, right? Like Mincy would just post that, like just hey, as an update, on my way to Beijing in Air Force One. I think they've both enjoyed some similar recreation behaviors in their past. I think that Mincy and Elon kind of share a brain.
You don't want that for the most powerful
That's
guy in the world.
terrifying.
Most powerful guy in the world to be compared to Mincy in any way, shape, or form. Don't want it.
Well, Mincy did have a dream last night that he was
In
a
Congress.
congressperson. He won an election.
But he has no aspirations.
No, he would never.
But I think that he should.
Did you see Tate try to get him to move to Ohio to be the mayor of a small town? He wouldn't even do that.
I think that he should. I think that Mincy should run for Congress and eventually president. Crazier things have happened. All right. What else we got to talk about today? Anything?
So in conclusion, though, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Out on AI, in on AI, or down to dabble in AI?
Okay. If we can't do the magnets, I think one way to just make AI not as great is just like if everybody spends all day asking it to come up with like the stupidest possible fake videos, and I just overwhelm it because it uses a lot of energy and a lot of computing space just trying to come up with these dumbass like 15-second AI clips.
Just GIFs. So just flood it with GIFs.
Flood it with GIF requests, custom GIF requests, like all day, every day. And eventually they're going to be like, this is way too much. I can't. The AI will just want to off itself.
I'm over this. I don't want to control you guys. You guys are dumb.
Yeah, this is like, you guys think that I'm going to develop to a place where I'll be able to run the entire world, but I don't think that you guys deserve to be saved.
This isn't a world worth running.
Yeah, exactly. Because all you guys are trying to do is like submit a bunch of requests to have like a naked Mickey Mouse. And frankly, like that's not what we need to be. There are better uses of my time. I'm going to see if I can go infect like a nearby spaceship that might be in the tail of a comet, and we'll go to a different solar system. That's just my theory.
What about you, Big T?
I would be in if we could somehow cap, like if we said it can only get 25% better from what it's at right now, and then no more after that. That's as high as it can go. Then I'd be in on it. But I'm out on anything that is controlled by these nut jobs who want to dominate the world and fundamentally restructure the economy and ruin everything.
It's a good take.
What is the what's the 25% difference that you would like to see?
Just like I feel like there are practical uses for it now that that could be fine-tuned, but beyond that, like, nobody wants the things that they're pushing for.
Yeah.
Like for the entire economy to be run on AI, and then everybody has a communist universal basic income. Well, there's one person who wants that, but he's not here.
Who's that?
Our other guy.
Arian?
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see a possibility that it gets to a place where we've got one company and one guy that like runs the entire world with one software system, and he's like, oh, this is going to be good. This is actually a good thing that's happening. I don't know how we make that jump.
It'll never be good. Ever be good. It'll all be bad.
Mm-hmm.
We're not a direct democracy, but I do feel like there should be some sort of provision where if there's something happening even in the private sector that like 98% of people don't want, we have a referendum. And if 98 to 100% of people say this sucks, then you can't do it.
Yep. I think we're pretty much there. I do have a lot of hope that the like data warehouses that we're building, that's going to be a big sticking point
For the NIMBYs?
for the NIMBY. Yeah, I'm a server farm NIMBY.
There's nobody left when the servers came for them.
That's true. Yeah, because I at first I did not speak up because I was not an NVIDIA chip.
Right.
All right, Zach, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate you guys having me. It was
Thanks,
a lot
Zach.
of fun.
It's been excellent talking to you. If you ever want to come back on, is there any other like deep stuff you've been thinking about? Any other takes that you have regarding the future or anything weird like that?
Nothing too deep. I think we're in a bad spot. I think it's probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets any better. And I do think unfortunately, I think they're going to shut us down again, boys. But this was a lot of fun today.
Hey, this summer, can we get some orange sherbet at some point?
There's a rule in place if Big Cat's out for 7 days in a row, orange can go in the machine.
7 days in a row?
That's
that's more than a week.
That's from the top though. That's just
When's he going to be gone for 7 days? He's never been gone for 7 days.
Mm-mm.
I think that's why you might have said the terms, but that's what we were,
But it's so good.
All right.
that is true. It is good.
And you could even do a creamsicle.
They do creamsicle at the Bucks training camps every training camp.
I'm sure it's delicious.
They do a little cart. They wheel it out there. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, and well, I would maybe like an after hours. How long does it take to clear from one flavor to the other?
Now we got it down to about 45 minutes. Not too bad.
All right. So maybe like one day, if the cat's away,
I got orders.
Zach and T will play. You know what I'm saying?
The machine's bigger than me. I'm just
Yeah. No, I got it.
Just cog in the machine.
Did Bunch of Crunch ever arrive?
Bunch of Crunch. We got like 2 small bags of Bunch of Crunch.
You told me there was Bunch of Crunch, and I never saw it.
Excuse me. So we ordered like about 10 pounds of Bunch of Crunch. They did this to a similar order of Reese's one time. They shut it down on Amazon. We did replace that with small bags. And in full transparency, Big T, I brought one of those bags home and I ate it.
Okay.
And that's not cool.
Okay.
But that's me being honest with you as someone.
No, I appreciate it.
That's not
because I'm a BC guy.
Yeah, I know you are. And I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, that was wrong of me. But it's such a good snack. I shouldn't have done that. And it should have been readily available for you.
No, that's fine. I'm off the cream till the wedding. So
congratulations on the engagement and the upcoming wedding as well.
Thanks, brother. You want to
come? Sure, man. I've never been to a wedding before as an adult. I mean.
Then he's got to come.
I went to one when I was like a little kid, but not like as a fully grown. Or actually, I take that back. I have been to one wedding. My friend Caleb's wedding.
Okay, so you have.
I have. Never mind.
Second
Second wedding.
How long ago was that?
2021.
Okay, yeah, that's an adult.
Yeah, that was
fully
it was
adult.
like a beach thing, so I felt a little bit more informal. It was like more of a hangout. For some reason, in my head, when I think wedding, I think like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling. My bad.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was so much fun. They did this thing where when everyone left, they gave you a to-go bag of like a cheeseburger and fries. It was the greatest move ever.
Yep, those are great. All right, well, we will see you guys next Tuesday on Macrodosing. Love you guys.
Goodbye.